Good Friday morning, everybody. What a nasty ocean we've got here this morning. A lot of wind in Southern California. It's an entirely different day and a different ocean. That is for sure. Nasty seas here and a lot of wind, as I just mentioned. But we've got a lot to talk about. That 448-pound yellowfin tuna is on its way to the docks in San Diego. It's going to get weighed in here shortly. That'll be tomorrow morning, and we're going to have some live coverage for you with regard to that. Of course, we're going to check out the long-range situation. It's been phenomenal here recently. We'll talk about some big lingcod locally, some possibilities for white sea bass, surf fishing. I don't think so. And so much more. Let me get set up for the MB. It's a breezy, rough morning, but it's still gorgeous. I'm telling you, feeling blessed to be here. Another beautiful day. All right, I'll shut my trap and get set up. Good morning, everybody. Morning briefing coming at you next. Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California on this windy, rough morning. Man, the Southern California scene has really changed around. It is blowing here. It is cold, and you can see those big sets rolling up on the Southern California beach. We've got a 448-pound yellowfin tuna caught on board the XL several hundred miles down the Baja coast headed toward Fisherman's Landing. It'll be weighed in tomorrow. We'll get a more accurate weight on it and find out whether it's a world record or not. There's been some tremendous long-range fishing going on. We'll get you caught up on all of that. We'll talk about the local bite, the islands, and we'll talk about what's going on in the surf. As I mentioned a moment ago, not too good. Probably not a great idea to have my back turned to that, but you're watching it for me. You'll drop a comment down below that says something like, run! So I'll be watching for that. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, my God. It's great to be with you, but, man, it is a nasty morning here in Southern California. As I mentioned a moment ago, however, I still feel blessed to be here with you all, and I ask you humbly to hit that like button. Deeply appreciate it when you do that. Share these videos with a friend if you don't mind. Subscribe to the Freedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content available for each and every one of you. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Great to be here with you all. All right, let's jump into it. Go down to Ensenada. First of all, let me just make a general overall statement from Ensenada, even down below that, all the way up north of the Channel Islands up towards San Francisco. We've got really nasty windy weather today. And as you look out there, there's no way anybody's fishing either locally or at the islands or anywhere else. It's just not going to happen in these kind of conditions. So what I'm talking about is previous to all this wind, and this wind, just for a little weather alert for you all, this wind is going to persist through most of the weekend. It's going to start to come down on Sunday, and by Monday, it looks like it might be halfway decent, but we are dealing with hazardous seas, and this is no time. I joked about the surf fishing not being that great. Besides that, it's downright dangerous. This is no time to be walking out on a jetty or fishing the surf here. It can get really dangerous, as you can see by the conditions behind me. You do not want to take any kids anywhere near this or anything else. I just want to get that out in the beginning of the report so nobody is thinking about going out in this mess here today or tomorrow for that matter, it looks like. All right, Ensenada, great rock fishing down there has been the rule. We haven't seen all that much bluefin tuna or yellowfin tuna. That's a little bit further down the pond. However, we did get a really good signal of jumping fish, tuna that is, off of San Martin Island as the Spirit of Adventure was headed home. And the tax man, Tim Marquez, the man you want to call for your tax needs, was on board the Spirit of Adventure going by San Quintin, 140 miles below the border, and he saw jumping tuna. Tim was not sure what they were, bluefin or yellowfin tuna. But there was a significant amount of fish up and putting on a show, and that's a good signal inside. Mostly all rockfish down there in Ensenada right now. Once this weather comes down, I'm sure we'll get back to some really excellent rock fishing. It's been really, really good. Man, it is chilly right now. That wind is really starting to whip in here. It is really a nasty morning. All right, we'll bring you up and talk about that long range situation. The long range bite has been phenomenal here recently. Now, let me kind of divide this up. There's the lower banks getting down there toward Land's End, down toward Cabo San Lucas area. Down there, there's some big big yellowfin tuna being taken, like that 448. There's been several fish over 300 pounds, fish over 200 pounds. You've got that going on. If you want to go focus on that really big fish, that's what you're after, you can do that on 10+ day trips. The 8-day trips have focused on the coastline, where there's been outstanding yellowtail action, and also there's quite a bit of yellowfin tuna in there along the coast also. Not that far offshore, a little ways, but there's yellowfin mixed with some really good yellowtail fishing. You get further offshore, and that's where you're going to find a more consistent yellowfin tuna bite on 30 to 60 pound yellowfin tuna. Beautiful grade of fish. The Independence has been all over it. The Royal Polaris has been all over it. The XL steaming home now in this messy weather to weigh that fish in, had that big fish down below. There has been some really great fishing going on for the boys. And the wahoo bite out of the Lejos Rocks and surrounding area, where Kevin Kwan and the guys from Young's Fishing Tackle from Bellflower, California find themselves, is a little hit and miss on the who right now. But you'll get a chance to catch some who. And of course, we're leaving Monday morning. I know so many of you will be joining us on that trip. That is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that with you all. Yeah, I'm watching behind me to see if I'm about to get knocked over by a rogue wave. Going to be a lot of fun to be on that Independence trip with each and every one of you. Looking forward to some really fun fishing. By the way, this weather will not be part of Monday morning's departure scenario. Looks like we're going to be blessed with some nice seas as we head several hundred miles down the coast. So long range fishing, really, really good. Tanner, Cortez Bank, out there about 85 miles from where I stand. Forget it. It is a mess out there right now. And the bluefin tuna fishing out there had been spiraling downward. This is not going to help, but this is going to further reduce water temperatures. And a lot of times that can end the season. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not ready to dismiss it quite yet. We get back into some decent weather, and maybe we get a Santa Ana, and we get some solar warming to the water temperature, and that bluefin could conceivably get back on the bite again. But for right now, it has been down for several weeks. It's been mostly all rockfish with some Cortez Bank yellowtail, and also some guys going into San Clemente Island and picking up an occasional fish. I'll get to that in the island report here in a moment. Hey, if your garage door is a pain in the neck, you want to call our garage door guy, your garage door guy, Joe Welker. Joe can take care of fixing your garage door or installing a new one. Give him a call for your heating and or air conditioning needs, for sure. Heating today here in SoCal. At least it's John Lopez and Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. So that is your offshore situation. Down below the border, 250 miles, where the Spirit of Adventure had some good yellowfin tuna fishing. That is a viable option, but their weather is up down there today. So we'll have to wait and see. Some of the long-range boys coming home are going to check that area out. We'll see what happens. But the Spirit of Adventure had decent fishing out there with 67, I think, yellowfin tuna. Same thing on the yellowtail as they moved into some coastal areas and had plenty of rockfish on a 4-day trip. 4-day trips out of San Diego to fish that properly right now. But weather is up even in that neck of the woods. Islands, Coronado Islands, some yellowtail starting to bite down there again, but this is not going to help. Windy weather. It's nasty today. There's been some yo-yo ironfish. There's been some surface ironfish. There's been some fly line fish. It's not consistent. It hasn't been great, but there's been some shots of yellowtail down there and a lot of rockfish in that neck of the woods. San Clemente Island, out of the question today, but there's been the occasional dropper loop yellowtail, white sea bass, a lot of squid moving in there. plenty of rockfish in that neck of the woods. Also at Catalina Island, big cod have been dominating. We've seen some really great fishing everywhere for that. In fact, the freelance out of Davies Locker fishing local cod had some huge ling cod the other day out there at Catalina. Big bocaccio and reds and so much more. Once this weather comes back down again, you're going to want to use a 16-ounce torpedo sinker. And don't forget the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, fishing Catalina Island on that morning departure at 5 a.m., back at 5 p.m. You're going to love it. www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Looks like nasty weather here for at least 24 hours, and then it's going to come down November the 23rd on the El Patron. Chuck Zimmer from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. Chuck is going to be on board, and if you show up on November 23rd, you just want to go to that website I gave you, longbeachsportfishing.org, book on November 23rd. Chuck will be there. He'll hand you a raffle ticket, and you might be the lucky winner of a custom, beautiful rod that Chuck is going to wrap for you, and he does exquisite work. Trust me, he paid me to say that. Believe me, no. He really does do beautiful work, and you're going to be in that raffle free of charge just for showing up on the El Patron on November 23rd. November 21st out of Redondo Sport Fishing, Tom Durr is running a sand dab trip. I just thought I'd throw that in because Tom loves fishing sand dab, and that should be a lot of fun. No question about that. As we take you up to the Channel Islands, there's been the occasional hit on, of course, some white sea bass, but mostly rockfish up there in that area. It's been tremendous. There's been a lot of rockfish also biting up there in Santa Barbara and Avila Beach and areas like that. It's been quite good there also. Really, really excellent rock fishing. Again, obviously not today, probably not tomorrow. We're going to have to hang on and wait and see. And if you're headed out of Ventura Sport Fishing, the Island Spirit is such a great ride with a great captain and crew. You are going to love it. They kids fish free on Sundays, and they fish deep water cod on Fridays. Not today, but once again, great operation. VenturaSportFishing.com, or give them a call at 805-676-3474. Some good rock fishing up and down the coast. Half, 3/4 day boys have been catching all rockfish. As I mentioned, the freelance with some big ling cod the other day out of Davies Locker, Newport Beach. There's still the occasional bass bite going out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, mostly shorts, but good action, no question about that. It's been pretty darn good, actually. And also, as we take a look at Marina Del Rey, they had 3 halibut on the Spitfire here yesterday, and also some decent twilight bass fishing has been going on in that neck of the woods. Also, in the Southern California surf, it has been small perch. San Diego's been pretty darn slow. As we look down around Huntington Beach, we have seen some smaller perch. Richard Keogh has been catching some. I'll send you down a big fish bait and tackle where you walk in there, you get 10% off any regularly priced item if you say Friedman Adventures to them all year long for the rest of the year. 10% off. So make sure if you're going down there to buy some bait, you mention Friedman Adventures. And man, I'll tell you, they have some additional really great sales going on there that you want to take advantage of. Again, here in Surfside, California, there's no way you're going to be fishing in this snot. This is really nasty, but we've been down here recently, and it's been slow. A few perch, and that's about it. Some halibut up to around Long Beach. We've seen that going on with Lucky Craft type lures up in that neck of the woods. So we'll keep our eyes on that for you also very, very closely. So inclement weather, as you can see for yourselves, it is downright nasty down here this morning. Let me give you a little closer look at it here as the waves are really pounding in here on the Southern California coast. We're going to be watching this and so much more for all of you, but this is not a day when you want to be down here walking along the beach, or if you are, make sure you are exercising great caution and being very, very careful, as it is nasty. Hey, let me tell you, it is great to be with you all as always, but a nasty day in Southern California. I can't thank you enough for being, whoa, whoa, man, that water is chilly too. All right, there you have it. Really nasty down here. Have a great day, my friends. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care. Have a great one, my friends.